Good morning, and on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I'd like to extend a very, very warm and a very, very hearty welcome to each one of you who's attending this webinar series on the new LLP forms which have been launched by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Our special welcome is also in order to Shri Manoj Pandey, the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Shri Kumar from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Joint Director, and to the team from L&T, which is supporting LTI, L&T Infotech, which is supporting this project. So as you're all well aware, we're trying to, do an education session on these forms to help two categories of people. One, those who are presently filing in order to explain the changes. But these filing of forms is also a large professional opportunity for more of us to understand and start servicing our clients with. So it's a twin benefit actually. And this is the 5th edition of the seminar, and I'm very happy to inform you that we have a record number of about 4,500 participants. And the advantage being the more you learn in these sessions, the less likely we are to commit errors and mistakes in the process. So here's once again wishing you a very, very hearty good morning. Now I'd like to invite our Joint Secretary to speak a few words. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Madam Shri Priya and my dear Chartered Accountant friends. See, we want LLP module in V3. So V3 is a different version where web forms have been rolled out. In parallel, there is a V2 filing also which is happening. And so we are catering to the annual filings on V2 module. So let us be very clear first that there are two systems running at present. On version 2, the company filings are happening, and on version 3, we have rolled out LLP. So to begin with, this is how we have designed the system that LLP filing should start first. And I'm very happy to inform you that a large number of name approval forms have been filed on Run LLP, and approvals have also been conveyed now because the approval process started, and now many of the stakeholders might be receiving those approval forms also, including a large number of Philip forms have also been filed. We are gradually receiving forms on Form 3, Form 8, other forms like, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
For other forms like Form 15. The series of the webinars which are being conducted, and I'm thankful to ICI and also especially to Madam Shri Priya Kumar to organize these sessions, which I'll recommend should go on till we cover all the forms to understand what are the difficulties and the challenges which are being faced by the stakeholders. At the same time, also to sensitize from our side that what we have introduced, because there would be certain changes in the system because it's a web form, certain fields would have got changed, certain requirements would have got changed. So this is a two-way process. See, any system, when a new system gets developed, it has to be a two-way process. It has to be a dialogue, and then only the system will run smoothly. So I'll request all the feedback should come to Shri Priya, and she is communicating to us every day, sending all the feedbacks, and on those feedbacks we are working, and we are giving our feedback back to ICI saying how we have taken care of all these issues. So that is a two-way process. It's not a one way that we are receiving and we are not communicating back. We have communicated back to ICI also. This is what we have taken care of. These are the, if there are certain scenarios where stakeholders were finding some difficulties, we have taken care of that, or we are in the process of taking care of that. So I'm thankful to all chartered accountant friends who are participating this webinar, and please continue to participate all these webinars, because in days to come we'll be rolling out company modules also, and then your support and your help and your so to say feedback would be very, very important to the ministry for successful rollout, because any system is designed only to help the stakeholders. So what we are ready to support, we are ready to help. Please provide us a feedback. Once again, thank you, Shri Priya. Special thanks to you for organizing these webinars on behalf of ICI and ministry. There are domain experts from the ministry and also technical experts from our service provider, LTI, who would be taking all the participants forward on certain forms which are going to be discussed today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We have our president who's going to join us as well. But just two small things in the middle. In fact, I'd like to share this a little transparently. We have just requested Mr. Manoj Pandey to participate only about 5 minutes back, because we had a very good attendance, and he readily agreed, which is normally we wouldn't expect it of somebody at such a high office. But I think that's the kind of importance MCA has been giving to this project. We've seen this happen consistently from day one of our involvement. We find that the response time, whether it's from MCA or from LTI, has been terrific. And that's perhaps why V2 has gone very, very smoothly till now, and so have the LLP forms. So as I've always said, this is like enhancing the efficiency of a running engine of an aircraft. It is extremely difficult to do. Just require professionals from across the three fraternities to please be patient. It's not that somebody doesn't want it to go well. I'm sure all of us want it to go well, but there would be these teething issues. But personally, I have experienced the forms are phenomenally better than the earlier versions. For example, the Run LLP, you know whether the name is there or not. So it's going to kind of simplify our work in the future. And this seems to be truly sort of aligned to this ease of doing business. So let's wait and watch and be a little patient. And we've set up this Google form. So if you have any issues, you can post on this Google form. We've received 228 responses till today. And each one of them, as Sir mentioned, is being meticulously tracked and closed. And the President ICI has been extremely supportive on this project. So much to say, just go ahead. You don't even need to come back. Whatever needs to be done should be done with MCA. So with this, would like Mr. Sri Kumar to speak a few words, please.
Yeah, thank you, Shri Priya ji. Good morning, friends. Once again, I heartily welcome to this webinar series. Today, we are going to discuss about LLP Form 3, Form 4, and Form 5. LLP Form 3 is with regard to LLP agreement and any changes made thereon. And Form 4 is with regard to notice of appointment, cessation, and consent of partners. And Form 5, notice for change of address of the LLP. So basically these forms, LLP Form 3, Form 4, can be filed either as a standalone form or as a linked form. Similarly, in case of LLP proposes to change its address, then also Form 3 has to be filed by the LLP. So in such scenario also, you can file this Form 5 along with LLP Form 3 or as standalone form also. So our technical team experts, Rohit Bhatt and Sakshi, are there with us to explain and help you how to go about filing seamlessly all these forms, these three forms today. And I once again request all our CA friends to kindly share your feedback through the Google form shared by Madam Supriya, because on this feedbacks and inputs only, we are constantly putting our best effort to sort out all the issues one by one. We are not even missing out each of the feedbacks, each of the inputs, each of the issues reported by you from your institute fraternities. So that's what to have a seamless and efficient platform for V3 for LLP filings. We request your constant support, and also kindly go through the instruction kit and make use of our help desk also constantly. Thank you, friends. Over to Rohit and Sakshi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, GS sir. Thank you, Shri Priya ma'am and Shri Kumar sir. So although what we have covered so far through this webinars is run and fill form, and also we had covered last time the questions related to Form 3. So, and we have designed our today's session based on the feedbacks we have received so far on Form 3. So what has happened, I just wanted to quickly give you first the brief that from last couple of days, what has changed. As GS was mentioned, we have crossed a good number of run forms. We have crossed filing completion, and we have crossed the Philip as well. One other good thing that has happened also is the other forms are also getting now filed. Form 3 has been starting filing. We have seen Form 8 as well, Form 15 as well. So there are a lot of processes that is going on. And we could also see the change that is coming on. So there's a lot of data that is coming pre-fill. One or two critical things we saw is that there are a lot of pre-fills that are coming from the existing V2 data. And we see that the login credentials, that I'll just mention 2-3 things again. The login credentials, if you are already a V2 user, the one which you are earlier registered with on the LLP, on the MCA portal, please don't re-register again in the new portal. You have to simply use the same login credentials in the LLP as well. It will work. If your details are complete, it won't take you to the profile page. If your details are incomplete, it will take you to the profile page. You just need to update your data, and then it is done. So you don't have to create a fresh login IDs. What has happened from last 3-4 days while we have been resolving the issues, and we see many of these things happening. There are a number of login IDs being created in the current portal. That is actually a threat to within the system, that it will not allow you many login IDs creation within the system, and it will block you. And that's the reason you will see many places that your user ID is not valid. It really blocks you. So please don't do that. You just need to use existing user ID to log in into LLP as well. So that is one change that we see. Also, we have anticipated there will be many of the issues from the data perspective. Say if your data was not complete in the V2 data, because these are pre-fill data. So pre-fill, when it comes, let's say example Form 3, Form 8 has a lot of pre-fill data coming from the earlier in the database. Whatever data was there, that only will be reflected in the pre-fill data. If there are some changes that has to happen, or there are addition to be happening, or the data is getting changed, so those kind of things has to be done through our call center. You need to raise a request and make sure that your issues are being addressed, and we'll take it to the closure on those issues. But whatever there is in database, the system will pick only that data, and based on that your filing will happen. If there is some data which is not there in V2 database or earlier database, that will throw you an error. For that also, you need to raise a ticket with our call center, with our help desk, and make sure your issues are getting resolved. There is a drastic way of change that we are bringing from the earlier form to this form, and the way we are filing now through a web form, and the validations are on the form itself, at the end of the form at save and submit itself. So those kind of changes we have bring, and it will be a lot of clear or smooth data that will be bringing into the V3 database. And there will be issues from the data perspective, because from V3 we have to pick this data and make sure it is getting processed as per the new forms being designed, and those will be only processed and saved and submitted. So what we have done,
Rohit, if you've not yet launched on the forms, may I kindly request our president to just speak a few words, and then we'll launch off into the session. So just a few things to be communicated to the fraternity.
Sure.
Over to our president, Shri Debashish Mitraji. Hello. Hello, Devashish ji. That's fine, Rohit. I mean, I think we may be having a few challenges here, perhaps. So you could continue with the presentation. President
Okay.
would be happy to participate in the end. No
Okay.
issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can also speak at this point of time if you so desire.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I thought we couldn't hear you, so we thought maybe.
Okay, all right. If you could,
No issues. No issues.
to the Honorable Joint Secretary, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Manoj Pandey, a very warm welcome to you on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And as I take great pleasure and pride in saying that it is something that you see we do with great deal of interest, that we join hands with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in propagating the intricacies of the LLP Forms 345. And let me tell you, the Institute, to all those of us who are hearing me, chartered accountants, cost accountants, company secretaries, this is an excellent initiative of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And we believe at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India that this initiative will only provide positive results. There could be small teething problems in the initial stages, but that should not really deter us. Look at the end, look at what you are going to achieve. And we are going to achieve an excellent system, something you see which all of us are going to be proud of. So my request to all of you who are listening, and I believe more than 4,000 are here, take full advantage of this seminar that we are having today, this workshop that we are having today. If you have any issues, you can go back to your respective institute. There's a Google form, fill it up, let us know, and we shall try to see that these issues are taken care of. Once more, I request all of you to support this initiative. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is of the belief that this is an excellent initiative and we must do everything possible to support this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, sir. And nice of you to have joined again at very short notice. So it's over to Rohit.
Shripriya, personal thanks from my side also to ICI President to join in. And let me, I'll just say one more sentence. Let me also compliment our professional friends, because this time, although it's on V2, but we have crossed the AOC 4 filings for the entire year on 15th itself. So that shows the huge filing happening from professional community side, and I really compliment them because today the data would be also far ahead than what we have, because we have monitored data every day, and we have gone far ahead than what we had done in entire financial year for 2021. So thank you very much for this also. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Over to Rohit, and please carry on, Rohit.
Thank you, Shilpa. So looking at the support system, I just wanted to make sure that to add that our help desk is 24/7. We have enhanced the overall support for the users to make best usage of the creation of their tickets, issues, and resolve them. From last 1 week, we have almost closed most of the issues which were raised through the Google Forms from ICAI and other stakeholders as well. So there is a good traction being done. We could see with these webinars, at least the run form and fill form has been smoothly going, and other forms we are also doing these webinars will help users more and more to file the smooth filing of these forms. So I have my colleague, Sakshi, who will just run through, all the 3 forms, although in the new V3 or the new system that we have, all the 3 forms are linked forms. However, you can file these forms as a standalone as well. So that is the change that we have bring in other than the web form. So I would request Sakshi to share the presentation, and then we could start quickly on the 3, 4, 5 forms.
Sure, Rohit, thank you. So just let me know once my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, so to quickly start with, Form 3 is for filing the information with regard to the limited liability partnership agreement and the changes, if there are any changes. So basically, there are two purposes for which this form can be filed. And then Form 4 is for notice of appointment or cessation or change in the name, address of the designate or designation of the designated partner. And then Form 5 is for change in name of the existing LLP. Now, when we say that we have integrated Form 3, 4, and 5, we have linked them together. So if an LLP is filing Form 3 for change in agreement, and that change relates to the change in particulars of partners, the designation of partners, or the name or address, or anything with respect to the partners, then Form 4 can also be filed along with Form 3. And if the change is in respect to the business activity due to which the change in name is also applicable on the LLP, in that case, Form 5 will also be linked with Form 3. So these three can be filed together. These three can be filed standalone in standalone manner as well. So just to highlight one or two points, the person who will be signing the form, make sure that the DSCs are associated with their respective user IDs. We have received many queries wherein the DSCs were not associated, and that is the reason the DSC validations were failing. So whenever you're filling any form, make sure that the persons who will be signing the form, be it designated partner or professional, the DSCs shall be associated against the DIN, DPIN, or PAN or the membership number. So once we go to the MCA portal, on in MCA services, we'll be able to see LLP e-filing, wherein all the forms are available, Form 3, 4, 5, as you can see in the screen. When we click on Form 3, so just to mention here, the apart from run and fill form, rest all forms are available to the business users. So you need to make sure that you're registered as business user to access these forms. We received many queries wherein the users were not able to see these forms, and we when we checked, we got to know that the users were registered as registered user instead of business users. And all the professionals, they can definitely register themselves as a business user, and they can access these forms anytime. When you click on this form, you'll be redirected to the login page. As soon as you log in, you can come back to this particular Form 3. And as you open this particular form, you'll see that you get two options. One is if you want to file it for any to file the information with respect to the initial LLP agreement, or to file the information with respect to the changes in the LLP agreement. All the instruction kits are also available in the form itself. On the top right side corner, you'll be able to see one link from where you can check the instruction kit for filing all the forms, and you need not download them in your system. You can, as soon as you click on them, you'll be redirected to another tab where this instruction kit will open. So here you'll put the LLPIN for which you want to file this particular form. Let us first see how this initial LLP agreement will be filed here. As soon as you put the LLPIN, all the information with respect to the LLP, the master data, which includes address, email ID, name, everything will get pre-filled. If jurisdiction is already there in the database, it will get pre-filled. However, if it is not there, you're required to put it in field C. For the professionals, we have given one option of search of LLPIN here. So you'll receive an option to search the LLP, the name of the LLP also. So you need not remember the LLPIN, or you need not manually put the LLPIN. You can search, you can put certain alphabets, and you'll get the related names, and you can select out of them for whichever LLP you want to file this particular form. Then when you move ahead, you'll get the information that information with regard to initial LLP agreement. So whatever the relevant information is with regard to initial LLP agreement, you'll be required to fill in. We have made sure that all the drop downs are available with respect to the state, districts, or everything is earlier which was required to be put manually. We have made sure wherever possible to provide you in drop downs or pre-fill options as well. all the information with respect to designated partners who are there,
Sakshi,
partners who are
one
there.
second. So just for your information, we saw lot many issues coming on the pin code not valid. So these pin codes are normally taken from the Department of Post, and whatever is available there, we just make sure the database from that is taken and put in here. So what we are doing is we are making sure this database is up to the mark. Wherever there's a pin code issue, we are making sure the database is updated with that, and we have to validate with against the Department Post database as well. So we are making sure these kind of issues will not come. We see lot many issues on the call center being taken that the pin code is not valid. So allow us some time. We are working on this as well, and this will be closed or ironed out. Next couple of days, the pin code issue will also be resolved. But however, if there are some pin codes, specific pin codes which are not there in the database in the Department Post itself, we are trying to get the data or verification with them as well, just to see that to upgrade ourselves based on the database as well. So give us another 2 days of time, although we have taken all the pin codes from V2 itself in the earlier database. And if there are some additions to be taken, we'll get it done. And the feedbacks or the comments or the defects that you have raised on our help desk, we'll make sure that those are getting closed as well, because that's a bulk update that has to happen across all the forms. We are working on that, and we'll make sure that you won't receive those kind of errors in next couple of days from now.
Thank you.
Over to you,
Rohit.
Sakshi.
Yeah, thank you. So as soon as you put the details with respect to the agreement, with respect to in which state that agreement was signed or executed and the date of the agreement, you'll be able to see a complete table of the details of designated partner and partner in the LLP. All these details will get pre-filled basis whatever the information was given while filing the Philip form. So here all the information will get pre-filled from the database itself. Then as you move to the next page, you'll be required to do the certification and declaration. The designated partner who is there in the LLPIN will be required to put his DIN or DPIN, and certification will be required from the professional also. You see that there are 3 tabs given in the end of the page, that is previous, save and submit. I request all of you to save the information wherever you are making any change or whenever you are putting the requisite details, so that you can access this particular form from the application history whenever you require. Even in case if you're not submitting it present, later on also you can have an access to this form with the requisite details that you filled earlier. As soon as you click on submit, you'll be redirected to further page. As soon as you click on submit, a PDF will be generated, will get downloaded in your system, and you'll get a message that your SRN is this and this. So here on the screen, you can see an SRN is generated and a PDF will also get downloaded. As soon as you click on OK, you'll be redirected to this particular screen. Here you'll find that your SRN is there, and you get an option to choose and upload the signed PDF here. Now the PDF which gets downloaded in your system, it will be exactly like what it was there earlier in your system, in V2 system. So you need to affix the DSC. The required DSCs are need to be affixed in the form, and then you choose that particular signed file here and click on upload. You'll also receive an email as soon as you upload the form here. You'll also receive email as well as SMS. So at multiple places, you'll be receiving various communications from MCA. If any action is pending to be done from your end, for that also we have created multiple communications from our end. If submission is done, if approval is made, if any resubmission is required to be done, at all places you'll be getting various communications from MCA's side. As you click on choose file, you'll be required to select the signed PDF from your system. As soon as you click on that particular file, that file will get uploaded here. You click on upload and the validations for DSCs will happen. Until and unless you click on upload, you choose a file and you click on upload, you will not be allowed to proceed to payment, to make the payment. So once the validations are done and the document is successfully uploaded, the proceed to payment option will get enabled and you'll be able to go ahead with that. Now, if we move ahead to make to how the filings are required to be done in case of any changes in the LLP agreement. So generally the user makes any change not for the first time, but after that we make various changes in the LLP agreement at different point of time. So here the first page will be disabled completely because in the first page, if you see, the information is with respect to the initial LLP agreement. So as you move all the fields which are disabled, in which the user is not required to put anything, that will be in this manner, where the user cannot put anything in the field. Wherever the user are required to put any information and which is editable, it will be in white background. The field, the placeholders will be in white background. As you move, as you can see, I have come to 16th point, which is after this complete page, I move to the next page wherein I'm required to put further details. Uh, so on the first page, I'll not be required to put any information for change in the LLP agreement. As soon as I move to next page, I'll be required to put the SRN of form 4 or 5, if any was filed earlier. So if I have filed any form 4 or 5 in last 1 year, for example, I filed it once or twice, I'll put the details here. We need to make sure that the SRNs are approved. They should be in approved status, and I need not put any SRN which are not there in approved status. In field 17, if you see, various checkboxes are given in which I can select what change is required to be intimated to the MCA or ROC. If I click change in partner or change in partner's contribution, I'll be redirected to, after this, I'll be redirected to form 4. When I select change in business activity, I'll be asked if change in business activity also require change in name. And if I click on yes, I'll be redirected to form 5 as well. So I'll showcase it to you. Again, the details of designated partner doesn't matter how many number of partners or designated partners are there, all the details will get pre-filled here. As soon as I fill the complete details, I'll get an option to proceed to form 4. Since I selected that the changes are with respect to the partners or partners contribution, I have been given an option to proceed to form 4 from here. As soon as I click here, I'll be redirected to form 4. The requisite details will get pre-filled from form 3, and I can fill in the requisite details wherever required. So as I told you that wherever the user can fill the information, it will be in white background. All the pre-filled information will be grayed out, so the user will not be able to make any changes here. Here also I get an option to select the changes are in respect of if it is in respect of appointment, I'll select appointment. If it is in respect of change in designation, and accordingly the details will get enabled or disabled. So as soon as I check here, the details will get enabled and disabled basis what I select here. Attachment section, we have made sure that all the attachments are each and every attachments maximum 2 MB can be uploaded here. And as you click on choose file, you'll be and also PDF and JPG files are now allowed. So each and every attachment can be of maximum 2 MB, and overall file including the DSC signed file, it should be of maximum 10 MB. So the users need to make sure that whatever the attachments that you're putting here, and after that when you sign the PDF, that PDF should not be of more than 10 MB in size. As soon as you fill the complete form, you'll be given an option to submit the form from here. As soon as you click on submit, again the SRN will get generated. And now if you see, because I filled both form 3 and form 4, I'm getting 2 placeholders here to choose different forms and upload them here. So same process will be followed here. The PDF that you download, you need to make sure that you affix correct DSCs there. You choose your DSC affixed files here, click on upload. As soon as the DSC validations and every validation is done, pre-scrutiny is done, the document, you'll receive a message on your screen that the document has been successfully uploaded, and then proceed to payment option will get enabled for you. Now let us move to Form 3, how that is to be filed along with Form 5, which is for change in intimation of change in name. Here you'll get an option because since you are changing your business activity here, you'll be required to select the NIC code. Now we are following NIC code 2008. So you'll get an option of search here. As soon as you click here on the search icon, you'll get a complete table, as I mentioned in run form as well. You'll get a complete table here for NIC codes. You can put 2 or 3 alphabets there and you'll get the related code, and you can select maximum 3 codes from there, and all the codes will get pre-filled. The codes that you select will get pre-filled here. As soon as you fill the complete Form 3, you'll be given an option to proceed to Form 5 from here. In Form 5, you'll be required to put the, since you need to have the name reserved in order to intimate the change in name. So you need to put the approved SRN of run here, and the details with respect to that run will also get pre-filled here. The new name of LLP will get pre-filled, and you'll not be able to change it from here also. This will be disabled for the user. We need to make sure that this is in approved state also. In the attachment section, you can affix, you can upload PDF or JPEG files, and each file can be of maximum 2 MB. After filling the complete details, you can move ahead and submit the form, and submission will have the same process as I mentioned earlier. So if you're filing all the 3 forms together, 3, 4, 5, you'll see that 3 placeholders will be there instead of 2. So uploading, signing, everything remains the same. It's just the purpose that you select which will make the difference here. If I show you how all these 3 forms will be filed, so as soon as you fill the complete details of all the forms, you'll receive 3 placeholders here. And you need to make sure that you are allowing multiple files to be downloaded in your system. If you do not allow that, a pop-up will come on your screen. If you allow that, multiple files will get downloaded. We also received 1 or 2 queries wherein the user was not able to download more than 1 form. Only 1 form was getting downloaded. That was because a pop-up had come when you were trying to submit this particular form, and the user disabled it instead of enabling it. So that's the reason he was not able to download multiple files. Payment was already covered earlier. However, I'll just give a short gist of how the payment will require to be done. As soon as you click on proceed to payment, a screen of the summary of payment will come to the user, wherein the user will see how what fee he or she has to pay. You can select online or offline mode, whichever suits you. As soon as you click on any of the payment mode and you submit, you'll receive the details of the depositor along with the summary of the payment. After that, you'll receive various options wherein you can select whichever option suits you. Debit card, credit card, UPI has also been included now, and we have given many options to be selected from to the users. Around 8 options have been given now.
Sakshi, so this integration of payment is with Bharat Kosh, which is the NTRP portal, and we have integrated in the new system. We have integrated with them, so this has enhanced first the gateways. There are almost 8 gateways here, which they have availability, and at the UPI, as Sakshi was mentioning, they will be adding more and more gateways. So they have the integration or the gateway, or all the syncing of the data happens through NTRP. However, what we have seen is there is lot of improvement being seen from V2 payment to V3, because we had analyzed all the issue while developing the system. We had analyzed the overall system in V2 and tried to figure it out that how those kind of the genuine issues which were there in V2, at least those kind of issues should not be repeated. One was that there were only 2 gateways there. We enhanced it to 8 so that give a more flexibility. There should be more payment options like UPI is one of the other options which has been added. So far and so forth, there will be many of the gateways that will be coming up in near future, and we'll get more updates from NTRP. However, we see a good response so far, and we don't see many of the payments getting failed on this. So that is a good thing. The only thing is once you do the payment, once you go back to your page, please make sure your pop-up is enabled. If your pop-up is not enabled in your browser, the receipt will not be downloaded based on that. It will take you need to make sure that your browser is or the pop-ups is enabled, then only you will be able to download it. However, you will receive the confirmation of your transaction on your portal, but the only thing is the receipt will be download data. So that is the change that we are bringing on. You need to make sure that this kind of change is always enabled in your browser once you are completing the payment and it's coming back to the MCA portal again. Sorry, Sakshi.
Thank you, Rohit. So here you'll see that view user charge option is also given to the user, wherein the user can see various charges that different banks or different payment methods have, and then you can make an informed decision by which method you want to go ahead. You need to enter the CAPTCHA code and check here in the checkbox and click on pay. As soon as you click on pay, you'll be redirected to the payment wherein you're required to select the payment option and put the details. Until you fill the card details here, you'll if I click on cards, until you put the card details here, you'll not be this proceed option will not be enabled. As soon as the details are completely filled in, the proceed option will get enabled. You will be required to put the OTP as it was happening earlier also in all the cases. As soon as you complete the payment, put the OTP, submit, you'll get the payment status here. As Rohit rightly mentioned, that you need to make sure that the pop-ups are enabled. So this particular message you'll get in all situations that your payment has been made against this particular SRN. If your pop-ups are not enabled, you will not be able to get this particular screen of challan. So you need to make sure that the pop-ups are enabled to reach here. You also get an option to download this particular challan in your screen, in your system. You'll receive a complete details of the entity on whose behalf you're making the payment, the person who is making the payment, and the form against which the payment has been made. As soon as you click on download, you'll be able to receive this kind of challan in your system. So this is how the form will be filed, form 3, 4, and 5. Now, I would also like to share how individually form 4 and form 5 will also be filed. Just give me 1 second. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we have already covered how form 3 will be filed individually. And as I've already mentioned that form 4 and 5 will be will get linked with form 3 in certain specific cases. If you're filing form 3 for changes for intimating about the changes in partners, or form 5 for change in name, if change in name is happening, then form 4 and 5 will get integrated with form 3. Otherwise, form 3 can be filed individually also, and form 4 and 5 can also be filed individually also. This is how the form 4 looks like. So as soon as you proceed from form 3, form 3, you'll receive this particular screen if form 4 is applicable. If you're filing it individually, then you can go to MCA service, LLP e-filing, and you'll find form 4 and 5 also separately available there. So as soon as you click on form 4, again you need to be registered as a business user to access this particular form. Here, if you can see, refer instruction kit option is available. You can click on this and you'll be redirected to another tab where instruction kit of this particular form will be there. So this we have provided in each and every form for your ease. Various steppers have also been added here. So as soon as you fill the details completely on one particular page and you move to another page, this circle will turn into tick marks. So you'll get to know what all information you have already filled in and what else is required to be filled in further. As soon as you put the LLPI in, all the related details will get pre-filled. The details which you used to file earlier in form 4, you can file here also. All the details remain the same. You get the option. So we have divided, like it was earlier also there, we have divided it into different fields. For first, you can file the information for designated partner, individual designated partner, and then you also get the option separately to fill the information for body corporate designated partners also. In the same manner, you as you move ahead, if you see in the stepper also, in the first page you get to put the details of designated partners, including individual and body corporate. And if you move ahead to the second page, you will be required to put the details of normal partners who are not in the position of designated partners, including both individual and body corporate partners. So if we also received one query wherein the user was making a change in designation of partner, however he was filling these information here in the details of designated partner, so that's why he was receiving one error. So you need to make sure if you're putting any, if you're making changes in any of the details of designated partner, you fill the details of designated partner only, and if you're changing any details with respect to partner, you need to fill that particular details only. As soon as you fill the details completely, so in third, if you see, we are talking about individual designated partner. In fourth, we are talking about body corporate designated partner. So if any change you have, you can select here and all these fields will get enabled. Here also, if you select any checkbox, all the details will get enabled here. The details which you put here, basis these details, these particular fields will get regenerated. So whatever the information you put here, you'll see that these fields 3, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all these details will get regenerated basis whatever the numbers you put here. We have made sure that as soon as all, if the designated partner if you're putting the deepin, all the details with respect to that particular deepin gets pre-filled here. As I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure that you're saving the details on each and every page. After putting the requisite details, you get an option to save the information. It gets enabled only when all the requisite details on that particular page are put. And if you're saving the details, you can access these forms later on as well from your application history. So this is how the application history looks like. You can access your forms from here. You get an option to edit the form, and you can download the PDF once everything is completed. And for example, if PDF somehow did not get downloaded, you can download it from here as well. As soon as you put the details, you get an option to move ahead to the next page. As you see, you have already filled in the first page details, so this has turned into a tick mark, and now you're moving ahead to the next page. So as soon as you complete the details, you'll again be redirected to this particular page, which is attachment and declaration section. Now you see you have completed all the details, so all the tick marks are here, and now you're on this particular page, which is attachment and declaration. So as you complete all the attachment and declaration also, you get an option to review the complete form here. You get an option to edit also, page by page you get an option to edit. As soon as you click here, all the fields will get enabled. which are not pre-filled. So all those fields will get enabled, and you can change the details and save it then and there only. So you need not go back to the first or second page to make the changes and then come back on the last page to save it. So this is again for the ease of users. You see all the edit options are given page by page. As soon as you click on here, all the fields will get enabled and you can make the changes as required. You click on submit, SRN will get generated, PDF will get downloaded. You need to affix the DSCs on the PDF, and you'll get a screen again to upload the PDF, as I mentioned earlier. Now, if I move to Form 5 is a very small form, and it is just like how Form 3 and 4 are also to be submitted.
We are unable to see your screen. Okay.
I've shared it again. So this is how Form 5 looks like. Again, as I mentioned, you'll get the instruction kit link in all the forms. You can refer to that instruction kit to complete the filing of the form. In case if you're stuck anywhere, the help desk is always available. It is again a very small form. As soon as you click, as soon as you put the LLP in, all the relevant details will get pre-filled here. You are required to put the approved SRN here, and the details of that SRN will also get pre-filled here. As soon as you fill the complete details, you you're also required to put the details of the LLP agreement. Whatever the changes are there, the relevant extract of the LLP agreement also you're required to put. The date option is also given. The calendar is there for, again, your ease. You can select the date on which the change had taken place. And then you get an option to save the information. On each and every page, once you complete the requisite details, you get an option to save and then move ahead. In the application history, again, you can anytime refer to your saved form. As you move to the next page, you get an option to you get the page to put the declaration and certification and put the related attachments. In the optional attachment, just to mention that you can upload 5 files, up to 5 files, like it was happening earlier also, and those 5 files should be of maximum 2 MB, including all the 5 attachments. Those files should be of maximum 2 MB. As soon as you put the complete details, you'll again get an option to submit, and you'll get the SRN generated. Again, you'll be redirected to this page to upload the PDF. Since this is not, we are not doing it as linked filing, so I'm getting only one placeholder here to upload Form 5. As I mentioned, you'll be receiving multiple communication from MCA at different point of time. So as soon as the submission is done, as soon as the upload is done, the approval is made, or resubmission the form is marked under resubmission or under any category, or if any pending action is also there. For example, you have done the you have downloaded the PDF, however DSC is not yet affixed and upload is yet to be done. So you'll also receive the intimations for those actions as well, through SMS and through emails both. So this is one of the changes that we have done in V3. Again, submission and proceed to payment. The process will remain the same. So I think I have completed from my end, and questions as usual.
Sakshi, thank you very much. I think the questions have been already put in. Sarika ji, I think you have already shared some of the questions. One or two questions I see that that they are not able to access the V3, Form 3. So, sir, if you are now, there's a restriction being taken on the.
Thank you, Rohit.
Yeah, so if there's a restrictions being put in now in the login, so if you're an individual user, you can only file form run and fill up with that. You can access only these 2 forms or few more forms, but Form 3, 4, 5 cannot be accessed as an individual user. So there are some restrictions based on the users now, and please make sure you are using the right user ID while accessing these forms to file.
Sending no, one by one we send. 17 questions we send.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Rohit, you are.
Okay. So that was one of the question we have been getting. Sir, I have filed Philip in V2 now. I'm unable to file from V3. So Form 3 is very much active, sir. If you are a registered user, that means the individual user, you won't be able to open the Form 3. You have to be a professional or other users that are there to file this form, sir.
Rohit, would you like me to call out some questions?
Yes, yes. I'm just reading that as well.
Okay.
I think the second was MGT7A, wrong AGM date. Sir, this is a company related question. We are not here for the company. We're only here for LLP module. So I can't answer this question in this forum. However, if you can raise your ticket on help desk, probably you will be able to get the answer of this question.
The third question is, they're going to sign the LLP form, but we're facing a DSC registration error. So the error says the DSC is already registered. What do we do?
So you can raise these kind of questions have recently came in while we are migrating the data from V2 to V3, and we see your DSCs have been registered in multiple users. There are some issues like this. We have resolved most of them. If you can just tell me your phone number and your number or email here, it will be good that we'll connect with you and we'll make sure we'll give you a call to fix this issue, sir.
Yes. The fourth question possibly we could take, the one Ms. Manjula has asked, how to file Philip. Now, what we are going to do at the end of this webinar is we will also share the links of the earlier video recordings of these meetings. The entire Philip process has been explained. And so you can go and access those links. But again, Ms. Manjula, if the Philip form is available on version 3, go to LLP, find the form. The form is pretty much self-explanatory. You'll be able to file it. Now, the most important thing is for all these forms, you have a help kit. Just download the help kit. And in my experience, please print it. It's really helpful if you print it and go through. You'll be able to complete your Philip in no time. So that's my advice. But I will also request my colleagues at ICI to share the links of where the videos of all these webinars are available. We'll try and popularize it on social media as well today. We'll post it in the MCA's website as well. Mr. Chandramohan Rana, the action button for resubmission of Form Philip is not active. So I think this again must be a one-off issue. Okay, I can tell you why, Mr. Rana. I'm so sorry, Rohit.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so this happened to me also. You have to scroll to the right. Mr. Rana, open your screen, your My Application page. Scroll to the right, you will find the action buttons. That's all. So that's about it. Otherwise, there is no challenge. Scroll to the right, you will find your action button. Yeah.
So one thing, Shripriya, I just wanted to say, where there are some resubmissions of the Philip already been initiated from the back office, the comments as of now are not visible for some of the users. We could see those phone calls are coming that they are not able to see the comments why his or her form has been putting in a resubmission. We are working now on a change in the application history against that SRN. You will also see the resubmission comments as well. We are working on a code change for that. So if, let's say example, in the mail you are not received it, you can very well go to your application history in the next couple of days and see what was the comment the back office MCA officer has rejected or put it under a resubmission for the particular lesson.
Sure. The next user, Arpit Agarwal, had raised an issue and he was assured of a resolution on callback by L&T. We're not aware of what the exact issue is, but Arpit ji, you will get a call today. Kindly, if this is something that could have been solved very easily, it would have been done. So kindly be a little patient. Rohit, maybe this is a number that you need to call.
Sure. So we have been calling many of users. So if let's say example, I am myself at least picking 15 to 20 calls in a day. If I am not able to reach him, I'll make sure that I'll drop a message that I'll give you a call tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But we are reaching back to the users whatever we are receiving. So please be patient. If I'm not able to call 50 of the users, expect that we are also stuck in many of the users with the calls. But surely you will get a call from outside and make sure that your issues being addressed and resolved.
Yeah, Mr. Rajan asks, do we need to create a new user for each LLP and partner?
No, there is no need to create a new user for each of the LLP and partner. But what has happened is, if for one single user, there will be only one DSE being associated in the new process. So in that case, if there are different DSEs against one user ID, there will be only one DSE to be associated. Please make sure this is being done. Otherwise, that is the only change that has come into V3.
We have Mr. Arpit Agarwal who's asking a technical question. Whether old or new additional fee, you may raise this to the help desk because we're currently only taking on process-related issues. Mr. Suneshwaran has an issue. He says, I have filed Form Philip in March and sent for resubmission. On resubmission, the reason for resubmission was not mentioned. He asks how he could rectify and resubmit the Form Philip. How he could rectify. Any views on this, Rohit?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. There are some users where the resub comments are not being received on the email. Can you put, sir, your SRN here and your phone number? I will just give you the comment why it is put into resubmission.
He's given everything here. I will, it's item number 9, Rohit, for your attention. So you may just mark it.
Yes.
The lot 1 questions, item number 9 is important.
Sure.
And item number 6 is important.
Sure.
Yeah, and then Ms. Minakshi Chauhan says my login has got blocked. So
yes, so this is little bit tricky, by the way. You may have registered at 2 places. Please don't do that. Raise a ticket in the at your help desk. We have to unblock one of the user because there are multiple users within the database, and that is where your user. So if you create multiple users, for sure your user will be blocked. Please don't do that. Your current V2 login ID will be very much easy. You can easily access the LLP with the same user ID as well. Please don't create a fresh. Now that you are in this situation, please raise a ticket with our help desk. We'll make sure your user ID is unblocked and you're able to file the forms.
Item number 15 seems to be a critical item. Maybe Rohit can help. I've raised various queries for the last 7 days, but no responses. SRN for reserving LLP name is still showing under process. Raised, ticked, filed Google form, called MCA help desk. Nothing happened till date. Before reserving the name, I have filed full form for incorporation of LLP. Philip, SRN number, action button is missing. So I think you have 2 parts to this. One is, would like you to kindly appreciate that a huge number of run LLP forms have been filed. These are not straight through forms. So somebody in the MCA has to approve. So maybe that is taking its time. But Rohit, you could just check why this particular SRN, which is 1st March, is not got uploaded, is not clear. He is also going on to say that some of these buttons are missing. Seems to be a user-specific issue. So if you can take 15 also in priority, it will be good.
Sure, I'll give you a call. I think his number is already there, right?
Yeah. So I think I had recollected only these 3 numbers.
Sure.
Not able to register DSC. Again, sirs, we have already done a video. ICI will put out the video links today. You can go ahead and have a look at it. I'll ensure a mass mail is sent. So these are the lot 1 questions. Rohit, the first question in here again seems to be a lot of members are having locked DSCs. So would you like to set up a separate resource for this so that only the locked issues can be handled? I'm not so sure. So.
Yeah, so whosoever has a DSC kind of a problem, if your DSC has been expired, just check that. If not, because MCA does not take, we are not taking the expired ones. Please make sure your expiry date has not been gone. So what we have done is we are making sure that the syncing between the two V2 and V3 is happening, and we're making sure that it is synced between both the portals. So I'm not sure where you are using your DSC in V2 or V3. You just raise your ticket, sir. We'll make sure that this issue is getting addressed. If not, just put a number against the query into the Google form. We'll make sure we'll give you a call to address this, sir.
A couple of questions that I have received, I think it will get resolved in today's discussion because you would have explained the process. So somebody has asked why attachment file size cannot be more than 2 MB, but that's a system restriction. Rohit, but some questions that I see here are things which user seems to have a specific issue. So one says in LLP 3, the problem is that instead of 5 designated partners, only 2 names are coming. So these seem to be bugs which are standalone because not all users are reporting this issue.
Yeah.
So can I request that I send all these questions to you, and would you write to those users separately because it would be more productive?
Yes, please do that. We are reaching out to people both ways. We are calling, users are calling in and supporting. We are also calling out to make sure that as many as issues are resolved. Please drop in your number. We'll make sure we'll call you.
Yeah. So can you also explain what is offline payment option?
See, offline payment, once you go there are 3 ways of offline payment, by the way, I think users may be knowing. So one is that challan will get generated. You go to the bank and do the payment there. Second, other option is NEFT. You have to get a UTR number. Against that and NTR, against that, the payment has to happen in the through NEFT. And there's also a credit card option as well. So these are the 3 offline payment options that we have in the offline. There is no change being done from the earlier offline to now offline payments. Shripriya.
Rohit, the key takeaway today seems that people are saying instead of there are 4 existing partners, only 3 are getting pre-filled. Could you please check on that as a priority item?
Sure, I'll do that.
Many have only said that. So with this, I think I've broadly run through the questions. We're sending you the questions as well.
Please do that. I will ask more and more questions to be put in the Google form. Trust me, so far, if we combine everything, there are 500 odd that we have received so far, and we have already closed 480 odd, right? We are just left at unique issues that we are trying to figure it out, but we are making sure all the issues raised through this Google form are being resolved.
Sure. I will do one thing. I will get all the questions converted into a Google form today.
Yeah.
The ICI will assist this, and all these questions can be updated in the Google form. I'll close that.
Please do that so that we can
we have a comprehensive repository. Done.
Yeah, we are doing that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rohit. And once again, thank you very much. And it's over to Ms. Sarika Singhal to propose a very short vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rohitji, for taking up this form 3, 4, and 5. So day after tomorrow, we are now taking form 8 and 9. So thank you, Sri Kumar sir, for being with us in all the VCMs, what we are conducting to train the members or for them to practice LLP forms and resolving their queries. Thank you, Sakshi, for taking up the presentation. Thank you, Sri Priya ma'am, for taking this in a very the way she's taking up these VCMs, and we are resolving the issues and queries. Thank you, everyone, and none other than the participants who are participating. And today we have got 4,900. We expected that at least we should have got more. 5,000 we should have crossed. But thank you so much for being with us, and connect on 25th of March 3 to 5 again. We are starting at 3 o'clock for form 8 and 9 and the queries that will be there. Also request
8 and 9 or form 8 and 11, ma'am? Next session? I think it's form 8 and 11, no?
Ma'am, it's form 8 and 11.
We stand correct, sir. Form 8 and 11.
Yeah.
And timing is 3 to 5. And also request Rohitji to give a call back wherever we have promised to give a call back. So thank you, everyone. Now we'll close with this. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.